In the next 9 minutes, I'm going to show you how I created these two cards for First Communion. They're very quick and easy to make, and I'll show you a few different ideas to make them interesting. Make sure you stick around until the end so I can show you how I embossed the vellum panel on the second card. That is the special part of this video. Okay, so here I'm just using one of those dotted detail plates to add a little bit of color to my background. I wanted it to be light blue, but I didn't want it to be like a solid background. So this one was just perfect. It adds some interest, but without being too distracting. And I did run it through once, turned it around, and I'm running it through a second time to make sure that it's gonna cut all of the holes. Just a fun fact for you, I am originally from Brazil, one of the biggest countries in number of Catholic people in the world, and I moved to Ireland, which is also one of the biggest countries in number of Catholic people followers in the world. Go figure. Um, but yeah, here in Ireland, First Communion cards are a big hit. They're very popular, and I don't know how it works on your country. If you know any Catholics, I would love to hear from you. You tell me this. Like in Brazil, we don't do this, but here they actually give money to the kids, like their godparents during their first communion. The godparents give them money, and there are other things as well, but that's the common one. So that doesn't happen in Brazil. I wonder if that happens in any other countries. Please let me know. I'm curious. Okay, so I stamped my sentiment. It says First Holy Communion on this banner die. And I had this cross die, and I thought I could use just that, and that would make my card. The cross die is from Spellbinders. It's gorgeous, it's very delicate, and I use mirror gold cardstock on the bottom layer and kind of the matte cardstock, gold cardstock on the second layer. I am just adding glue to the back. I'm going to put some weight, let it dry, and then I'm going to do the same with the banner. And here I am speeding it up because I didn't want this video to be too long. But I am going to add a bunch of flowers and leaves that I had die cut from other cards that I had left over. I keep them all into a box. And I chose the yellow ones because I thought the colors would tie in nicely. And I'm going to add also some pearls to the spaces in the cross and add my flowers and my leaves. I'm going to emboss them as well to give them a bit of movement and depth. But I'm not going to show you all the details. This is very easy. So whatever flowers and leaves you have in your stash, just add them around your banner, a little bit maybe around the cross if you want to, and it will look very cute. I'm also gonna add some pearls to the center of my flowers afterwards. So I didn't love this card at the end. I thought it was too much. I have this problem, folks. You let me know as well if the same thing happens to you. But when I buy like these cute, lovely, adorable supplies, and I sit down and I want to make a card, I want to use all of them at the same time. So I'm not a clean and simple card maker. And sometimes I just go to town. So right now that I finished this card, I don't love it anymore. Maybe I'll come back to it tomorrow and I'll think it's not that bad. But right now, I think it was way too much. But you let me know and let me know if you have the same issue. Okay, so I'm just adding a few more leaves here and there. I tried not to make them very like similar. I wanted them to have a bit of variation, and that was it. Okay, this is my favorite one, the second one. I'm using a vellum panel, and this is again another dotted detail plate. This one is from Altenew, and I'm gonna run it through my die cutting machine so I can add the detail. And then I'm gonna use a die. It's a stamp shaped die from Simon Says Stamp, and I'm gonna cut towards one of the either top or bottom. It doesn't really matter because it's a symmetric pattern. So I just wanted it not to be centered, if that makes sense. So if you align it all the way to either top or bottom, you're gonna get the same position in case you want to recreate this. So I'm gonna run it through, I'm gonna cut it, and then I'm going to take this out and I'm going to ink blend it. I can't tell you which color I used here, but it's just whatever was left on my brush. I'm gonna try to make like a circle, kind of a halo, so it can go around my white circle. This circle will be my sacramental bread, which is what the kids have on their first communion if you're not a Catholic. And then I'm going to, that was kind of a mistake. It worked in the end, but it was a mistake. I shouldn't have stuck it down now. Okay, here's my sentiment. I have another banner die cut. I just stamped my sentiment. I'm gonna glue down this plain blue, white blue. It's light blue. It's the same panel from the other one, but this one I didn't add the detail. And I'm pressing it down. Here I'm gonna bring my tan mat. I'm gonna turn that panel, the vellum panel around, and I'm gonna emboss it with stylus. So I'm just filling in kind of those spaces. I would guess they're like rays. They're irradiating from the center. I'm gonna do that all across the panel. I'm not gonna show you the whole thing, but you just do the same thing in all the spaces. And in the end, it kind of looks like a flower, but the other elements will help it out. So I'm just gluing my banner. Here I'm just using liquid glue to adhere all of my elements, as you can see. And then I'm going to turn this panel around and add double-sided foam adhesive. And I'm just measuring the size that I need. Again, I'm not going to show the whole thing because I wanted the video to be short, but I'm going to add the double-sided adhesive behind each one of my 3 elements. I'm going to cut it down to very small, narrow strips, and I'm going to add it all along. You're going to see like the result that I have here at the end. I'm going to remove that backing and I'm going to add it to my card base with that blue panel. That way my adhesive is hidden and no one is going to see it. And I also get a little bit of dimension, which I love. All of my die cuts, by the way, were like 3 or 4 die cuts glued together, again, for the dimension. Here I'm just adding some flat sequins all around, following that circle pattern. I think it looks cute. And that's it. So it's a very easy card to recreate if you have any religious image or anything that you could use as a religious image. You could use that in the center and a sentiment, and you're done. Happy crafting.